You follow 10th Street Strip until the train comes to a complete stop.
Hey guys, I took a poll on my Instagram and wanted to know if you wanted to see my trip in Seattle. You said yes, and so here it is. So when I initially got to the airport in the morning at about 9, I think was my flight, it ended up being delayed, and so I didn't get to Seattle until about 4 hours later than I was supposed to. And being that I'm a female and I was traveling to another place, especially Seattle, in a busy city, and I didn't really know my way around, I didn't want to stay out late. I didn't really want to stay out past 7 because that's when the sun went down, and I don't know, I'm just kind of cautious like that. So that day, when I got there late, my day was pretty much wasted, so I didn't get to do anything. However, the next day, I did meet up with some family who took me to 6 Arms Pub and Brewery. It's the perfect place to grab a beer and kind of relax while you're exploring the city. It features a wooden bar, booths, an upstairs section with wrought iron cafe tables, and shows off McMenamin's largest collection of chandeliers. I then went over to the infamous Pike Place Public Market and did some exploring. Pike Place is overlooking the Elliott Bay waterfront in Seattle. It opened in August of 1907 and is one of the oldest continuously operated farmers market in the U.S. With more than 10 million visitors annually, it's Seattle's most popular tourist destination. I checked out the Gum Wall, which is located in Post Alley underneath Pike Place Market. The tradition began around 1993 when patrons of Unexpected Productions' Seattle Theater Sports stuck gum to the wall and placed coins in the gum blobs. Long story short, they tried scraping the gum away, but people kept doing it. They eventually deemed the Gum Wall a tourist attraction in 1999. And I actually got this question a lot from my friends and family that have seen the video. I didn't smell any gum. Now that I'm looking back, I am very disappointed that I didn't smell anything like that. Now, though I didn't film some of these, there are some honorable mentions, like Three Girls Bakery, which is actually the first Seattle business ever owned by women. It opened in 1912 and is actually the longest running business in Pike Place Market. Another one is Ghost Alley Espresso, where I had the best cup of coffee. The woman that made it threw in a shot of lavender, and I really can't take my coffee without it. Though I didn't go to the Alibi Room, I did take a picture of the sign because if you've seen Shameless, then it's the Alibi. I also stumbled upon Pike Place's secret garden that's on the rooftop next to Maximilian. It's actually missed by about 99% of tourists that visit Pike Place. I of course headed over to the first Starbucks ever opened. It opened in 1971 and still uses its original Starbucks sign and logos. Now, after grabbing some coffee, I was a little hungry, and I really wanted to try something that I've never had before or something that I couldn't get back in Arizona. I ended up getting in line for a pierogi, and what a pierogi is a Russian meat pie, and you can actually see them making it in the window. ended up getting a spinach, cheese, and ham pierogi. So it's like it was stuffed with spinach, cheese, and ham, and it was so good. It was perfect with my Pike Roast Reserve coffee. It was amazing. After exploring Pike Place, I made my way down to Pier 59, over by Elliott Bay waterfront. The Seattle Aquarium opened in 1977 and has close to 1 million visitors annually. The aquarium takes about 2 hours, but since I got there an hour before they closed and they were nice enough to let me in, I rushed it. However, I didn't really mind doing that because I'm not the type of person to read every single clip that they have next to the fish. I kind of just like going for the pictures and looking at maybe fish I haven't seen before or the animals that I have and just want to see again. The next day, I headed over to Chihuly Garden and Glass. This museum showcases glass artwork created by Dale Chihuly. He was born in 1941 and started experimenting with blown glass in 1965 after dropping out of college, traveling abroad, and then eventually going back to school. In 1976, Chihuly was living in England, where he got into a head-on collision, during which he propelled through the windshield, severely cut his face, and was left blind in his left eye. Now, after recovering, in 1979, he dislocated his right shoulder while body surfing. No longer able to hold the glass-blowing pipe, he hired others to do the work. In a 2006 interview, he said, "Once I stepped back, I liked the view." He explained how he was able to see work from different perspectives, and that enabled him to anticipate problems earlier on. Now, this next sculpture means the absolute most to me. Going from researching Seattle, planning this trip by myself, and seeing a lot of this sculpture online, it really made me appreciate it more going through those glass doors and seeing it right in front of me. I don't know the sculpture's name and I couldn't find it online. I know it's 100 feet long and is one of the largest suspending sculptures Chihuly has made. And I'm not gonna lie, when I walked through those doors, seeing it on Google and then seeing it right in front of me, I teared up a little bit because that's when I knew I was really in Seattle and I had made it. And I was very proud of myself for making it that far by myself. Now what's really neat about the area I was in is that it's a tourist spot. So you have the Space Needle, Museum of Pop Culture, Chihuly Garden and Glass, and then you have the monorail that takes you back to downtown Seattle. So after going to Chihuly Garden and Glass, I headed over to the Space Needle. Now the Space Needle opened in 1962. It's one of the most recognizable landmarks in the world. Built for 1962's World's Fair, the theme was the Age of Space. The tower's futuristic design was inspired by the idea that the fair needed a structure to symbolize humanity's space-age aspirations. Now there were some people that were worried about the rotating glass floor, but it really didn't feel unsafe. It felt very sturdy and I was just fine walking throughout it. After the Space Needle, I found myself at the Museum of Pop Culture. Though there was a lot to see, I would have to say the most notable mention would be the Scared to Death exhibit, where you can see authentic horror movie artifacts that were donated to the museum. After I hit those tourist spots, I went over to Japanese Sushi, where I drank a Life's a Peach martini because I thought it fit the occasion, as well as a Seattle roll, which I also felt fit the occasion. On my last day, I said goodbye to my Airbnb and headed to the waterfront. I grabbed a scoop of hand-churned strawberry ice cream and went to Ye Olde Curiosity Shop. Now I am disappointed that I didn't get any videos there, but it was a really cool knickknack shop and I was able to get a few pictures. From there, I walked the waterfront down to Pier 59 and kind of just wasted time. But instead of getting on a ferry and maybe heading to Bremerton, I sadly went the opposite way towards Pioneer Square Station, got on the light rail and headed to the airport. And that was my trip. Thanks for coming with me to Seattle. If you like videos like this and want to see more videos of my trips, click on the thumbs up button. Comment down below at what your favorite part was, or maybe somewhere I should visit next time I go to Seattle. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and follow me on Instagram. Thanks, guys!